Hey everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Paddles at the Hub. This is a special series we're calling Canadian Spotlight, where Vic is going to be sitting down with Canadian paddle companies and getting an interview with them, thus, shining the spotlight on paddle companies that are in our own backyard. So for today's episode, we have Brett Forsythe from Poach Pickleball, and Vic's going to be sitting down with him. Take it away, Vic.
Hi everyone, this is Victor Chen for the Pickleball Diary. We have a special episode over here today from the Paddle of the Hub. We have we're now trying to highlight some Canadian paddle company in the market. US has enough of people talking about them, so we need to also talk about our Canadian companies. So I have Brett over here, one of the founder of the Poach Pickleball. Thank you so much, Brett, coming over to the pod.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. Can you talk a little bit about how you founded your company?
Yeah, I was involved in hockey before, and basically, so I did some international ordering for a hockey company, and we were training hockey players and whatnot. So I got a little bit of taste of what being an entrepreneur was like. And then fast forward, I ended up joining the Navy. I was in the Navy for a couple of years, and
nice.
I was so in love with pickleball at the time, and I saw what was kind of coming onto the market, and I was like, at that time, I think the thing that really set me over the edge, because I had the idea of starting Poach back in 2018, but I didn't actually do it until 2020. And it was when Selkirk released their Vanguard paddle. And I was like, and at the time I thought, like, especially with where the technology was at, for like $300 for the Vanguard paddle, which like the technology that was in it, I was stunned, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, someone has to come in and do this cheaper. So I started looking into it more, realized, okay, I can actually make a go of this and do this. So I started telling everyone in the military that I was getting out, whatever. And then just to hold me accountable. And then eventually I was like, all right, I pulled the trigger on it and ended up leaving the military. But I started Poach from a little Navy dorm room in Victoria, BC.
Oh, nice.
And it was, yeah. And I mean, it was a learning experience for sure. Because you might think that you know a lot about paddles or whatever, but you also have to know graphic design, which I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
You also have to know marketing and all that. There's so many areas to it. So yeah, it was basically 2020, kind of got into it around August 2020 and haven't really looked back. So
oh, that's great. That's great. I didn't know that you're in the military. I'm still in the military. I'm a dentist in the Canadian Armed Forces. So
okay, yeah,
so
right
it's great talking to a veteran.
You're much more important than I was. I was a naval warfare officer, but I was like, yeah, that was a whole thing. But yeah.
No, we're different. Different trade has their differences, but you, at the end of the day, thank you for serving your country. Definitely.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, you as well.
Thank you. So I forgot also a quick introduction. Obviously, you're also a very good player. I checked your recent duper is into 5.2 plus, and also you have been also a team manager for the the previous CNPL team, the Rocky Mountain, and then kind of the Vancouver Rush. Talk us about that journey with the CNPL.
Yeah, no, of course. It's funny because I don't even know what my duper's at, so I'm glad that you told me. I haven't taken a look at it honestly in like probably a year, but yeah, with the CNPL, I mean, I definitely have mixed feelings about the CNPL, both good and bad, but I think overall it was a good experience. I think what they're doing obviously is like bringing attention to Canadian pickleball. I think you have to be on board with that. Like everyone has to, it's a great thing that they're doing. Yeah, I mean, what in particular do you want to know? There's so much to it. Like,
yeah, I'll say how's it kind of running the team for you? Was it difficult? Do you have enough input in there, or how's it feel?
Yeah, I mean, we
It's a loaded question.
I think in year one, no, it's funny. There's a lot of drama in the back end, but like year one, so we had Tracy Bennett come in and be the head coach and whatnot. And then and so all things considered, I actually probably had too much input the first year, or I thought I did. And then she kind of put me in my place, which I appreciated for sure. She's a great coach. But in the finals, because we ended up winning the regular season, and then in the finals, we had a bad match against, I think it was um, Jonas Dollar's team. I forget what they were at the time, but anyways, and we had a bad match and we lost, and then and then there was a blow up within our team. So then we had a bunch of drama there. So honestly, like year two, I found a little bit better than year one. Year two, I definitely had more input. And it was fun. Like, I think everyone was on board for a bit, but honestly, I hear so much drama with the CNPL with every team.
Unfortunately,
you guys cover a lot of it, I think,
Yes, we did cover quite a bit of drama. It's not easy when you have so many people talk that you have to mesh together, and then you have to understand. This player meshed better with this player, and then this player doesn't want to play or whatever. We didn't talk about all the drama that's in like out loud live, but in the background, we know there's so many. I was like, oh my god, how that team manager is gonna be able to manage this personality versus this personality, and then it's tough.
Yeah, so a little bit of like the drama I'll give you is like so after year one in the off season, I think we ended up getting I traded like Nathan Choi for Christina Chin, and
yes, I remember that.
And then Sunny Budar for, I think it was like Kim Layton, and when the guy pool was deeper than the female pool at that point. Now they're both really good, but so we had at one point in the off season we had Kim Layton, Christina Chin, Alex Walker, pending the PPA stuff, and Casey Rogers. So we had arguably the top, or four out of the top six. And the only thing, so I mean, it was great up until that off season, like managing the team, and then at that point, it was the league started making some goofy rules which they didn't have before, saying that you can't hold certain players in the off season, and you could only have 3 guys and 3 women even in the off season. So gotcha. Like you know how you have to have 3 guys and 3 women, right?
Yeah.
But there was nothing saying that you couldn't have like 4 women and 2 guys in the off season, and then just lock the 3 and 3 right before the season started. So when we had that, then they started changing some rules and stuff to whatever. So it didn't work in our favor anyways. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. But anyways, I mean, they're doing the best they can, and I'll always support them. It's I had to take a step back, honestly, because I don't invite a lot of drama into my life, and it was just becoming a little much for me. So, I mean, I'm a single guy. My life's pretty chill. So the most drama I have is with work. So I don't invite any extra drama into my life, and that was becoming a lot. So I was like, all right, I'm stepping back from this, but yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is indeed not easy. Speaking of which, how do you feel? Is it quite difficult starting a pickleball paddle company in Canada? What do you do?
I mean, I think when I started it, I think up until like 2 years ago, it probably wasn't very hard. I mean, anyone can go and start and pay the money and come up with a paddle. It's just whether or not your paddle is going to be good. Also, I mean, 99% of the paddles out there come from China. Everyone looks at that like a bad thing, to be honest. I know certain companies that actually make their paddles in the United States, and the quality of our paddles coming out of China are significantly better than theirs being made in the United States. So it's definitely not a bad thing. But there are good manufacturers in China. There are bad manufacturers in China. And you just got to kind of go through it until you find a really good manufacturer. We have a few, and we have really great relationships with them. I think it's not that hard, but I do think now you have to have deeper pockets than you originally had to. Like USA Pickleball to get a paddle approved is not cheap anymore.
Yeah.
And that's if it gets approved the first time. Like the Rocket didn't even get approved the first time.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, I probably spent around 10 grand Canadian just getting the Rocket approved. Like so
Wow.
it's yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah,
I
I mean it's the cost of doing business, it sucks, but yeah, it's definitely one of those things. So
definitely, it's not easy, especially right now. There's like you said, first of all, like if you have money, basically they can start their own company and then
mhm.
have something USAP approved, whatever attempts, right? They going into it, and especially now. I don't think in our Canadian space it makes sense to have paddle UPA approved because there is basically Canada does not even have a
Yeah,
tournament that requires you to be UPA approved anyway. So
yeah.
that does not definitely not make sense for a Canadian company to even pursue into that space, I would say.
Yeah, not unless you got insanely deep pockets and you just kind of want to, make a play on the pro scene.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but I mean, where it's at right now, it's not worth it. No.
Definitely. Talking about paddle. Obviously, I'll show you on the video. Obviously, you had mentioned you made the rocket. So
Mhm.
how much I would say it took a little time, obviously on the R&D in order to make it through that. How many almost how many years of R&D you have to make in order to make that rocket paddle? Obviously, you did kind of almostly jump from Gen 1 to all the way to Gen 4, right? Because
Mhm.
at first you're like your previous paddle are more Gen 1-ish, and then now the rocket is now Gen 4. How much R&D in order before you make
Yeah,
that?
we had like because we had our first gen paddles, so like the Podium Power, Havoc Power, and the control versions, and then we moved into the M3. Actually, no, sorry. Then we
Mm-hmm.
moved into the 2.0 series, which is still more Gen 1-ish. And then we moved into the M3, which is thermoformed and just like a very different feel. It's kind of one of those love it or hate it feels. But the
Mm-hmm.
paddle looks really good. Like the M3, it honestly is probably one of our best looking paddles.
Yes,
Um,
indeed.
and then we moved into the slingshot, which is a bit thinner. Um, and yeah, I really like the slingshot, but and then this is completely different. This is a foam paddle, so there's three types of foam in it. It's very gritty. It's got tons of power, tons of pop. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things where it's all these foam paddles that are starting to hit the market. There's not tons of them yet, but
Mm-hmm.
you will see it where Gen 1, Gen 2, etc. is going to get kind of phased out. And it's basically just going to be like full foam paddles because with the power and the control that you can get off of it, it's night and day. So yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Would you say especially in your company perspective, will you be phasing out those honeycomb core and just produce the foam paddle and just basically forget about the honeycomb? Is it still like the price? Is it still close enough yet, or is still quite more expensive or as a foam paddle?
Yeah, no, it's probably you're paying about 250% for the difference in between
Oh
the
wow.
rocket and the so yeah, no, I eventually probably, once everything kind of gets a bit closer, but for now, like with work that we do with like schools or any programs or whatever, it's great for that. They don't need foam paddles, you know what I mean? Like they just want to
Yeah,
get out and
obviously.
play and
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, beginner they don't know what's difference anyway at that point. You give them a paddle, they'll be able to they just happy to use it, right?
Yeah, and it's not like first gen paddles from any company are bad. You're just not going to get as much out of it as you will like with
hmm
with a foam paddle like this. So yeah.
And I will say what's your current rate you can answer if you want the current ratio between those we call lower intermediate to beginner player versus like those higher intermediate to like kind of higher level player on like in terms of sale, like who like
Mhm.
is it still like those lower intermediate more than the higher level one?
Uh, I think you get people more going for like mid to high range stuff. Because the thing is I mean, pickleball is a very, inexpensive sport really to get into. Like coming
Yeah,
from hockey, it's where you're spending
definitely.
thousands and thousands of dollars and, God forbid if your kid's a goalie or something, right? So, but yeah, I mean, you go and like the Rocket is our best paddle and it's, we
Yes.
have it at 300 Canadian. Like it's not so if you're going to spend $170 on a 2.0 or $300 on, the best of the best, it's like, is it worth it? And a lot of people do think it is.
Mhm.
So yeah, we don't, it's less, the first gen paddles are more for people just kind of entering into the game, just wanting to see if they like it. And then you get a lot more of people that already know they love the game that are getting like 2.0s, M3, Slingshot, and etc. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and definitely, and the Rocket is definitely a very good paddle. I was just gonna mention some of my first impression. Very poppy paddle.
Mhm.
Definitely get some good pop out of especially your like I will say just slow uh, the short swing, it definitely you can feel that the paddle is gonna pop the ball quite rapidly. So your hand battles, I was winning hand battles very easily with this paddle. Not another good characteristic I would say for a lot player. If you're not someone like me who likes to customize the paddle, this is good because the swing weight is already at 120, right at the sweet spot that what needs to be for elongated paddle. Twist weight is at 7.2 means is very high. Usually like 6.5 and up means the paddle is super stable. So you don't need to add more. Like you can if you want to add more weight in different area depending on for your shot. But someone that doesn't like to tweak too much on a paddle, this is a good very good paddle to begin with. It has a 5.25 inch length on the handle, so it's good enough if you're like in transitioning between a one hand to a two handed backhand. Very good paddle on that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, like I have relatively big hands. I hit a two-handed backhand and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, but yeah, no, I can fit both hands on it and it's I think that's um I've always been I mean, I guess that's the thing that like when you own a pickleball paddle company, it's one of those things where it's like you can't just it's the fine line between like, am I just producing something that I like, or am I producing something that like everyone else is gonna like?
Yeah, for the
And I
best.
think with this, we've checked the box on both because I love it, but we've had incredible feedback on it. And
Mhm.
even like the pre-orders and whatnot, they're going through the charts right now. So we're stoked on it. Really pumped. And I mean, I'm excited to get more of these out there, and then word of mouth will just kind of take off. So.
Nice. Are you planning also to have a different shape, like a hybrid or like a wide body?
Maybe, but to be honest, probably not, just because this shape is pretty universal now. Like a lot of people are starting to get, with most of the paddles out there, I do feel like a lot of people are just accepting this as like the one of like the main two or three shapes in pickleball.
Hmm.
And we used to do like our podium shape is a bit shorter handle and it runs down a bit longer.
Yeah.
I've been a big fan forever of like the elongated paddles. So whether it's like just 16 and a half inch in length.
Hmm.
And it's tough to go back from that just because you lose reach at the net. And I think we originally, when we launched our first gen series, we had the Havoc, the Podium, and then one that was called Defender, and
Hmm.
it was a short like wide body.
Yeah.
And the sales on that versus the others, it was it was minimal. And I think a lot of people have just kind of told us like over the past 5 years that these are the shapes that they want as we
Mhm.
continue. So we're just kind of listening to them.
No, agree. Myself, I've been elongated all the time. If you look at my back wall, it's pretty much all elongated paddle
I
anyway.
don't know if I see
Anyway,
one wide body on there. Yeah.
well, there's one somewhere hiding on the back, but
Yeah.
it like kind of behind some of the paddle. But most of mine has been elongated. I tried all of them, the wide body, the hybrid, and the elongated. I was very proponent for the hybrid at some time, and then as I progresses, like I just couldn't go couldn't go. Actually I was elongated, go back to hybrid, and then I just can't. I just went back to elongated basically.
That's the thing too that you see is wide body typically more for people that, there's groupings aren't quite as good. And then once your
Hmm.
groupings get better and once, your hand-eye coordination gets a bit better, then you don't really need the width. If anything, you want a little more reach, right? Especially if you're
Yeah.
going to play singles or any of that. But yeah, it allows you to get in there at the kitchen line a bit and be a little more whippy and with some flicks and stuff. So yeah, and you also see it on the pro scene as well. I mean,
Yeah.
very few players are using wide body paddles, like
No,
it's
not a lot,
everyone's
unfortunately.
using, yeah, longer. So
You have just the couple odd people like Anna Bright and maybe Colin Johns that you use those wide body, but
yeah,
like
like the
the 90,
Scorpius or whatever, is that what it's called?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly, the 99.9, almost 0.9%, they're all elongated. They don't
yeah,
even see hybrid almost in there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I agree. So I know one of your sponsor pro, obviously Ava Weeks, one of our top pros here in Edmonton. Why did you choose her as one of your pros?
I mean, why not, man? She's
Yeah, I know.
Ava's a blast. I play tournaments with her. She is so much fun, and she's just like, yeah, I have nothing bad to say about her. She's an incredible competitor too. Like we had her on uh the Vancouver Rush,
Yeah.
and she was like, she's happy to be like, she is such a role player that she can be a starter if you need her to be, but she can also
Mm.
be like that supportive person on the bench. She's a little more stoic, but she is very but when you get it out of her, it just like, I don't know,
Yes.
it hits different. Like when you can get Ava hyped up, it's just different. So
No,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, no,
She's
she's great and she's very involved, in that pickleball scene, so
Mm. Yeah, she's now the head coach at the Edmonton Sports Center also, and yeah, so congrats to her, and she's hopefully get picked again. This year then means she'll be 3 times in 3 years in the CNPL. So which the draft is coming up soon. So we'll
I
get.
think she deserves it. Like I'm
uh,
biased, but I think she deserves it. Like we gave her first shot at it, the other year, and she did really well. And you got to think. I think at that time she was like 19.
yeah,
She
exactly.
was very
Mm.
young and like handled the pressure and did really well. And yeah, so she's made for it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You can see her progression going up every year, and it's like hitting those milestone there every year. So definitely, hopefully, someone's gonna pick her again this year.
Yeah, I'm sure
Uh,
they will.
all right. So so Brett, how do we follow a company? Obviously, you have the Poach Pickleball website, right? The poachpickleball.com, if I'm not mistaken.
We got poach.net. So poach.net's our
.net.
main
Okay.
website. Yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, and so just poach.net. We also have an email list. So I think you can access it from there as well. We put out
Mm.
some email. We definitely, I've never been big on like bombarding people with emails. I hate that stuff. So we only put out the good stuff. And yeah, so that or Poach Pickleball on Instagram
Nice.
and Facebook as well. So we've definitely been more active on social than we have a team running that stuff now. So they're doing a lot better than when I was taking care of it. I'm not a big social media guy. I just got
That's
my
okay.
Instagram back a couple of weeks ago. So I'm not a big social media guy, but I'm more of the behind the scenes guy. But yeah, They do good. So you can definitely follow us on Instagram, Facebook, etc. So
Awesome. What's last question? What's the future is holding for Poach Pickleball? What we should be expecting you from Poach Pickleball for the future?
yeah, I think like, I mean, in all honesty, like I was pretty burnt out for this past year, especially with everything going on with this paddle. Like this paddle took a lot out of me to the R&D side, and then just like with USA Pickleball, the stress that comes with that, because you got retailers chomping at the bits that want to carry the paddle, and then you're like, we hope, because with our paddles, like we could push something through that we know will pass, but it's not going to be a great paddle. So we're always trying to like just be enough, just be like have the maximum amount of power without going over, and the maximum amount of grip without going over. And so we definitely try to maximize the specs on our paddle, and that brought me a ton of stress this past year. So I took like a bit of time to just kind of mellow out and be like, all right, like I need to just, kind of find my fuel again. And I do feel pretty rejuvenated off that. So I mean, for Poach, I think we're going to be competitive. We'll just stay, keep being competitive, and if anything, we'll keep an eye on the market, and we'll definitely muster up some new ideas too. We don't always want to be trailing the market, and we definitely aren't. But to be one of the first to have some cool ideas and stuff, like even the 3D grit that we like tried out on the M3, like just things like that, like just throwing ideas, seeing what sticks. So yeah, just future for us, try to be creative, and definitely remain involved in the community, and just grow the sport really, because that's the reason why I kind of started this too. So
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Brad. So for everyone, the rocket is already well, it's already for sale or somewhat pre-order, right?
yeah, it's on pre-order. I think we're set to receive them within the next like 10 to 14 days. So basically by mid-February. So people who are pre-ordering by mid-February, you should receive it. And yeah, so
Well,
you can brag
awesome.
to your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's $2.99 Canadian, so you don't need to cross the border to get your tariff and everything. So you can get it right in Canadian dollar and support a very good Canadian paddle company with a Gen 4 construction paddle. So definitely go check that out.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much, bro.
Awesome. Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you so much to Poach Pickleball for joining us on the podcast. If you guys want to check them out, head over to poach.net for their website, and also follow them on Instagram at Poach Pickleball. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And if you're interested in that website, it's going to be in the description below. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Cheers.